Alright, we're back on this diesel number 4 video. 1,265 grams so far. I'm still recovering. 1,265 grams. This should have 726 grams. 1,200 grams. 1,260. So either they tried to fill this up to 1,230 grams and they overcharged it, but I know there's still more refrigerant stuck back in that frozen accumulator. I think they put in here 1,400 grams because they thought this was dual air conditioning. Now, here's for you newcomers, you young guys. You think this is old. It's a big truck. It has crew cab. God, does this have single air conditioning? Or maybe because it's such a big one and it has dual air conditioning. Let's find out. Oh look, air conditioning controls. And a vent. It blows. It's dual air conditioning. This has 2 air conditioning. I'm gonna put 1,000. Which one am I gonna use now? Because I've seen 2 options for dual air conditioning. So it's either a Suburban or a utility with front and rear vehicle. So most young guys know what a Suburban is, and you know this is no SUV Suburban kind of thing. So you're gonna go, it must be a utility with rear air conditioning. So I'm gonna put 1,230 grams in the system. But he already put too much in there. I'm already getting more than that 1,000. I'm getting more than the 1,230, and I haven't even finished yet. So I know more is better. So let's be safe, says the young guy, and let's put in 1,400 grams and it'll cool better. But how do you tell if it has dual air conditioning? If it had dual air conditioning with 2 evaporators, there would be 2 suction hose returning. There's your return line right there, your suction line. I see they replaced that and they didn't wrap it good. There's their suction line going around. There'll be a Y. If there's a second evaporator, there'll be a Y where it ties into it. And there it is right there. We're following it from the other side. We're going down. It goes into this accumulator, and there's no Y branching out to a second branch. Now, you can prove this the other way. There would be 2 liquid lines. So let's take this liquid line. So here's our vapor, because the orifice tube is right here. So you'd follow this liquid line down, follow the liquid line down, keep following this liquid line. I'm sorry you guys can't see it, but just believe me, if you follow this liquid line, it goes down to here. There's only one liquid line. There isn't a Y in it where it branches out to a rear orifice tube or a rear expansion valve. That means only one thing. There's one evaporator. If there's one evaporator, why did you fill it up as if there's 2 evaporators just because you're seeing vents in the rear? The reason there's vents in the rear, because this kind of system has a second in the HVAC case. They have a second opening that'll open a dampener, and it goes through ducting that goes through the center console, and all it is doing is tapping off airflow off the front evaporator, putting it into the rear, and the guy thought he had dual. But you always can second guess yourself. You can always double check and check yourself by looking for the Y branch in the suction line or looking for the Y branch in the liquid line. And then you can prove to yourself there is no second branch, because you would be able to follow it under the vehicle and they would have it routed under the vehicle. You could get up there with a creeper and look under it, and you would find air conditioning lines, and you would have air conditioning lines coming up going under the vehicle into a second evaporator. Just like on SUVs and vans, when there's a second evaporator way back here in the rear quarter panel, you have it back here. You can follow and trace and go underneath and see the AC lines going all the way to the front. And that's how you double check yourself and you don't get yourself into this scenario. And this is what I do every day, and I see every day. I've ran my own business. I'm just hitting 30 years. And I see this still every day. The education is not out there. It's either lazy, cheap, or ignorant, or always the cause, and it's always the owner of the company's fault. He is the blame on everything a technician does out in the shop. Whatever goes out like this, you look at the owner and there lies your problem. All right, guys, signing out. See you guys later.